our radar into the 3D, and you can see this towering thunderstorm here getting as high as 40,000 feet. This thunderstorm that we've been watching here moving its way into northern sections of Jefferson County near Warrior. Let's put it into the more traditional two-dimensional view so you can see the lightning still going on near Smoke Rise and just north of Morris. This thunderstorm looks like it's going to have a little bit of trouble crossing I-65 as many have today, but let's put a track on where we anticipate the leading edge of the storm to continue to drift as it moves off to the north and east. Could get to Hayden by 5:25, Bangor by 5:40, and then if it holds together, High Rock by 5:49.
Gene, this is good timing because this is Lightning Safety Awareness Week.
That's right, Sherry. A good time to go over some basic safety tips. Now, a thunderstorm by definition means there's lightning. And the best way to stay safe is get inside a sturdy building. But remember, stay away from the windows. Now, if you can't get inside, avoid standing under a tall object like a tree because trees, of course, attract lightning. This is also the time of year when many folks head to the pool or to the lake. But remember, water conducts electricity too. So at the first sound of thunder, you want to make sure that you get out of the water. Don't wait until you can see the lightning. If you hear the thunder, you're at risk. Get out of the pool and get off the lake. Well, let's show you. This thunderstorm originally was right over downtown. It blew up near the airport, and now it has slowly drifted off to the east. Potentially, there could be some very heavy rains with this. Now, when we look at the radar in this way, you say, well, okay, I see a lot of colors, but what about the lightning? Well, we put our lightning scope over it, and as we drag it over there, you see all the lightning bolts appearing near Moody and back over toward Leeds. That's an indication of where there is active lightning going on right now with that thunderstorm. Also, our storm track radar indicates there may have been some small hail with this as we put the track on the leading edge of the storm as it pretty much moves along I-20. It should be continuing to head over toward Logan Martin Lake in about the next half hour or so, heading toward Eden by 5:34, Pell City by 5:40.
Hanging out in the weather, not a bad thing, except if it's lightning.
That's right, because we don't want to be outside when there is lightning. I want to remind you about some lightning safety tips. This is Lightning Safety Awareness Week. Here's something that I want to highlight that happened today. Actually, I saw on our radar display. Right around 3:30, there was a thunderstorm right over Tarrant. You can see it. But what you can also see is one of these lightning bolts, indicated by our storm track radar, was nowhere near where it was raining. A reminder that it doesn't have to be raining over you for you to be impacted by lightning. If you hear the thunder, that means there is lightning. In this case, the bolt was about maybe 5 miles from the parent thunderstorm. So again, don't be fooled by thinking, I don't see the lightning. In fact, it's just raining over me. You may still be impacted.
Storm Track Chief Meteorologist Gene Norman has the latest on the storm track. He's in our Storm Track Weather Center.
Yeah, Arthur has strengthened to Category 2 strength, 100-mile-an-hour winds. This is a live look from Kill Devil Hills in North Carolina. The storm will start to lash the Outer Banks this evening. It's going to be a very nasty night. High surf, anywhere from 2 to 4 feet of inland coastal flooding, along with isolated tornadoes. This is a three-dimensional view that we want to show you on our storm track radar, and you can see the red indicating where most of the intense thunderstorms are as they close in on Beaufort, North Carolina. Let's put it in the more traditional two-dimensional view, and you can see that the eye has gotten a little bit smaller. It's much the same way an ice skater brings their arms in. It speeds the system up and also picks up its forward speed as it crosses over the Outer Banks. So it won't be too long, but it will be a long night for the folks out here in North Carolina. So where's the storm going to go? Well, it's being steered by the same cold front that brought us the delightfully dry weather that we're enjoying. Thankfully, this front is here. Otherwise, this system would come inland and impact more of North Carolina, but it is going to be a big problem along the coast, out back into the Atlantic Ocean by tomorrow morning. Still a Category 2 storm, and then it parallels the coast for New York and Boston, but it's going to be a really nasty day up in New England because of the rain from this system, along with the rain being produced by the cold front, and then eventually it heads on up toward Nova Scotia. So big problems along the East Coast on this holiday weekend. No problems for our beaches, as we mentioned. No impact, obviously, from Arthur. Rip current risk is low. Tomorrow, if you're heading down there, Gulf Shores and Panama City Beach, temperatures will be in the upper 80s. Nice amount of sunshine for tomorrow and Saturday. Maybe an isolated shower heading into Sunday. And we really do need some rain. Each Thursday, the National Weather Service puts out what's called a drought index, indicating where there are dry conditions across the country. And for Alabama, the areas here in yellow indicate a abnormally dry, according to their classification. And there's one spot in western Jefferson County that's in the moderate range for drought. That was last week. Look what's happened between last week and this week. The area of drought is expanding despite some rain that we had, and that includes Lake Purdy, which is now down 4 feet, according to the Birmingham Waterworks Board. So we definitely could use some rain. I think we'll get some by the time we get to Monday and Tuesday. Quick check on the tropics. Edouard continues to churn out there in the Atlantic, but fortunately it is no threat to land. It did become a Category 3 storm earlier in the day. Meanwhile, in the Pacific, Odile is now a tropical storm after slamming into Baja California, continues to bring flooding rains to the region, and remnants of Odile and newly formed tropical storm Polo threaten to bring historic flooding to perhaps to portions of Arizona. Well, today marks the 10-year anniversary of Hurricane Ivan making an Alabama landfall. The Category 3 storm arrived just before 2 a.m. with 120-mile-an-hour winds dumping nearly a foot of rain around Mobile. Even though it weakened to a tropical storm by the time it reached Metro Birmingham, it still produced nearly hurricane-force winds in parts of central Alabama and left many without power for over a week. Shifting gears quickly, I want to talk about the impacts of the former tropical storm and Hurricane Odile. It's bringing flooding rains to the desert southwest. I want to show you what they've been dealing with out there as flash flood watches continue for southern New Mexico. This is what's been going on. This is Phoenix earlier today. In some neighborhoods inundated by several feet of rain as that slow-moving system moves through there. Hopefully nothing like that will be in our forecast anytime soon. In fact, here's what we are looking at as we head into tonight. Weather where you live shows temperatures in the low to mid 60s in our western neighborhoods, climbing into the mid 80s tomorrow. Again, a spotty sprinkle possible in our western neighborhoods. Off to the east, temperatures drop to around 60 degrees in most places, and then tomorrow we're in the mid 80s, so pretty nice weather. Will be warm, but not overly humid. I rate the next day's weather from 1 to 10. It's called the Norman number. For tomorrow, we're at a 9. And as we head through the end of the week and the weekend, gets a little bit warmer day by day, but don't see any rain until next Monday with the next cold front. That should give us some showers. Otherwise, we're looking pretty good. Also tracking this strong storm here right now in southern Winston County. It's bearing down on Arley, and as you put a track on it, show you that it is headed up to the north as well. It should be getting to Crane Hill by 5:21, Addison by 5:32. And our own Al Ratcliffe is out tracking the storm. You can see the ominous clouds, some of the low-hanging clouds as well. Again, this is a view right along the Walker-Winston County line as that storm continues to rumble. He's kind of behind the storm, but you can see the dark, ominous clouds. We're talking about a nasty storm that we were following Monday just before 7 o'clock. Lots of lightning with this storm. And as it came closer and closer to northern Lamar County, sure enough, Hook Echo, we did a live cut-in because of the tornado warning. That storm quickly moved into Marion County. But yesterday, the Weather Service went out, and today they put out a report saying that, yep, indeed, there was a tornado. They saw damage consistent with that, with the tree pattern out here in northern Lamar County, only a mile long, 150 yards wide, and then trees were uprooted because of that. Only an EF0 on the tornado intensity scale. I was digging back in the records. Of course, 2011 was a very destructive year with the big outbreak on April 27th. Across Alabama, 145 tornadoes that year. But in 2012 and 2013, the trend was downward. This year, back up to 42, including the 2 from Monday. And we still have 2 months to go in the fall severe weather season. So
Fans starting to trickle into the stands. The question for tonight, how cold will it be for that game and then for Saturday's action?
How big of a jacket do you need? Chief Meteorologist Gene Norman tracking all that for us in the Storm Track Weather Center.
I'd bring a blanket to sit in the stands tonight. And if you're selling hot chocolate and cocoa, you're going to make a ton of money because temperatures are going to be dropping. Let's check in again on that game of the week there up in Kimberly, Etowah versus Mortimer Jordan. Kickoff temperature 45 at 7 o'clock, and in the fourth quarter dropping down into the low 40s. What about the other games, the Saturday games? Well, we had lots of sunshine today. Tomorrow, I'm tracking a front that will start to move across central Alabama during the afternoon. So we'll start with sunshine in the afternoon, a few clouds, but our futurecast does not show any rain, just the milky white here of the clouds. So what does that mean for the 3 games. Well, let's take them out and detail them for you one at a time. First, Louisiana Tech visits Legion Field against UAB, finally home after being away for a while. 57 is their kickoff temperature, 63 by the fourth quarter with partly cloudy skies. Now down on the plains, Jordan-Hare, of course, hosting Texas A&M. That's a game you can see right here on WIAT 42 tomorrow. Kickoff 62, pretty nice for tailgating, although it will be dry. And then by the fourth quarter, getting cool down into the 50s. Now down in the bayou, we've been talking about how chilly it's going to be there tomorrow night, and we continue to detail that forecast for you. Let you know that as Alabama takes on LSU, another game you can see here on WIAT 42. Kickoff 55 by the fourth quarter, getting chilly down to around 40 degrees. So you need to bundle up for any of the game action that you're going to be checking out this weekend.
Let's get to the Storm Track Weather Center, where it is confirmed the nice weather won't last.
Enjoy it while you can. Chief Meteorologist Gene Norman tracking a big change headed our way.
That's right. It's a change we've been tracking since the end of last week, and it is definitely on the move. In fact, take a look. It brought an unwanted early snow a month before winter starts to places like South Dakota. This is what it looked like today in Rapid City. The Black Hills saw their first shot of winter. All in all, a record snowfall of over an inch. They'll see another 3 inches before it's all done, and 8 inches fell in Mount Rushmore. And it's going to stick around, too, because temperatures tonight will dip to a bone-chilling 5 degrees in this part of the country. Also snow today, Minneapolis up into northern Wisconsin. And this is the leading edge of the Arctic blast that we have been tracking since the end of last week. It will continue to push its way down through the middle of the country overnight tonight and into tomorrow. Watch as these blue shadings, the white shadings, that's the cold air, and it will eventually slide over into the southeast. That'll happen early on Thursday morning. We'll wake up to temperatures around freezing or just a couple degrees above that. The challenge is we won't see temperatures on Thursday get out of the 40s. Take a look at how cold it gets by Friday morning, upper 20s. And again, Friday, we don't get out of the 40s. In fact,